Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome to Y.A.R.P episode 97. And it's the fifth movie in our Mission Impossible arc. And
Allegedly.
it's Rogue Nation. Uh, Max, you did
Mm,
not like this movie.
not at all. But we're gonna get there. Slur, was there anything like good you noticed about the movie? Like in any like capacity?
I
Outside
mean,
of
we're
the
having an
action, just
okay
looking
time
cool.
watching it. We had a good old time laughing at the movie.
Just
Sometimes the jokes were intentional, even.
so defeatist already. It's like I'm also having a struggling time like talking about the good. So because like that's the thing is I kind of want to like talk about like the good aspects of a movie and the bad aspects of the movie. I guess the stunt work is
as per usual, the action looks pretty cool, but at the same
mm,
time, that's just a surface level type
well,
deal.
the problem is like because of the action having issues like in and itself.
It doesn't,
Like
yeah,
I
it
don't
becomes less
know,
Yeah.
I
cool.
don't, I don't know if the choreography like holds up because like man, this is fucking stupid. Like I can't believe we just saw this stupid shit.
I
Like
we
Because the thing
expected
appreciated,
is,
not to say
stunt
anything.
work as like a craft can be really high quality, but
right.
because what is actually happening involves so much bullshit cartoon logic and plot armor, it undercuts any of the cool factor and punch it could actually have.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's why my favorite set piece so far was the was that cafe shootout near the end because the one lady's using Ethan as a human shield, which makes sense.
Yeah, like they're not allowed to shoot Ethan because he has like sensitive information, so and they want that information, so they don't shoot him. But they are told to kill her because she stands in the way of them capturing. So
Yeah,
Ethan very cleverly stands in front of the bullets so to basically make it so they can't shoot her, but she's
yeah,
You
free
do
range to shoot them.
also in that scene have the problem though of he is aimbotting like a motherfucker and everybody else
oh
Well,
with the
no,
well,
stormtroopers don't.
yeah. We want to talk about this
well,
whole
well,
movie is full
well.
of like stormtrooper aim, and it's so annoying.
Oh
It's
man,
full of every single annoying
if you're not a
contrivance in action movies. Like you have people with guns getting into melee range. You have people. All of the enemies can't aim for shit, even if he's running down a straight corridor and a guy's behind him with like a fucking submachine gun just unloading. Not a
mhm.
single thing will hit him. It's like
Oh
there's a
yeah,
lot of
not
little
we
not
bullshit
in
only
like
the
that, and every flavor of the rainbow of nonsense.
in the
and not
very
even only that,
beginning,
but like yeah, there's a moment where like he's literally running down a hallway. The
people are
fucking
shooting him.
the bad guy, by the way, is a ex.
British
Where
intelligence.
was he? British intelligence or
Well, no,
Yes.
the
who's the Bone
syndicate dudes
Doctor?
were just ex agents from
They were
Oh
just
like
yeah.
ex
all
agents from
kinds of
different, yeah.
agencies.
But anyway,
Yeah.
the idea is he's like basically the equivalent of a CIA agent, just from a different country. I just can't remember the fucking country off the top of my head. But the
Yeah.
Bone
So
Doctor, he literally runs up, like his defeat in that scene beforehand is also hilarious.
oh yeah,
But
Ethan just kicks him really hard, and he just
but
falls
like the
over.
idea that like he has AK-47 and he's aiming down a fucking hallway, a straight hallway, where there is spots for Ethan to take cover, but he's just choosing not to. And he misses every single shot except for what, one?
Yeah,
That
he
is
gets hit in the
insane.
stomach, and we were
So
both
yeah,
like, "No,
I
you'd
guess
be
we're
Swiss
skipping.
cheese."
I guess we're skipping straight to the fucking bad of this movie because like, literally, Erica, did you notice anything good that you could say?
It was pretty funny.
See, like, that's not a good of the movie though.
Yeah. For me, if it's funny and has action, it's okay.
Mm.
But yeah, the villain was kind of weak.
Well, I'll get into that because his motivation's fucking awful, but that's a point later.
Yeah, the
Um,
whole thing about the syndicate, their
we'll
whole
we'll
deal
talk
is
about
that
it. We'll get that. We'll
they're
get
all
there.
former agents. Yeah.
Yeah, they're basically all they're all like the idea of the syndicate's really cool. The idea of like taking agents who are like dead or whatever, but so they can basically do they're basically specters from Mass Effect, where they basically have like free reign to kind of do whatever they need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, so yeah, Wyatt, can you think of anything good?
Like I said, it's just like I'm fully willing to like. I liked a lot of the action, but I can separate completely that like most of the stuff to the foundation of all that stuff was kind of stupid, especially even the opening set piece where it's like
Oh, definitely.
I'm like Like, it's an impressive stunt of Tom Cruise, like, having, like, the whole eyeball, like, contact lenses and only, like, a wire keeping him attached to that plane.
Hmm.
But and he did the same take, like, 5 days in a, like, 5 days in a row, where he pretty much had to have a few hours to, like, you know, decompress his body.
Yeah, the stunt work, yes, is very nice and really cool. However, what it proceeds is like actually Looney Tune shit,
Yeah,
where
like, and,
he
and it,
gets basically the idea is he's hanging on the side of like a cargo plane and he's trying to get in, and Benji can hack into the plane to open up the doors. He accidentally opens up the main hatch on the back of the plane, which is not the spot he needs to go into, and then he hacks the door he's next to, which stucks Ethan in, and he like bangs off like three different types of fucking spots on the
oh,
metal.
yeah.
And it's like,
That's,
oh my god. And this is like the opening of this is the beginning of the movie. This is what we're like starting out with, and it's like,
and he
like
escapes by just simply holding on to to the the payload of biological
something.
weapons. Uh,
The package.
yeah, because it had the biohazard
Well,
symbol.
yeah, but the package is on the plane.
I was assuming the package was the warhead things, because like, he sees them, opens the parachute, and then is off the plane.
Yeah. Well, the package is not on the plane at that point.
Yeah. No, it's on the
Yeah.
plane.
It's that dialogue was god awful. Like you're supposed to be trained fucking agents. Like what the fuck are y'all talking
I
like actually fucking retards
I
about?
don't even understand why Brandt, like, I guess
Didn't
he went.
know everything because he's supposed to be the handler. Like why
I
are they
thought,
like?
yeah, I guess he
Like,
went back to analyst work, which is,
that's a little strange. Because
yeah, I
like I
would have
thought his
assumed,
whole arc was in the last movie is that he's like getting over it or whatever.
yeah, was that he's ready to back doing field work because he talked with
Because he
Ethan about his not dead wife.
yeah. Which oh wait who? Ethan's dead, not dead wife. What? I'm sorry, Wyatt. She wasn't a character in this movie, so I have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. It's almost as if this movie like tries to not acknowledge all the shit in the last movie, which
Well, it's almost as
that
if
is that's really annoying when you're doing a fucking sequel.
it's almost as if 4 didn't happen because they made this whole thing like, oh, a Ghost Protocol has been initiated. Every IMF is now disavowed. And then they started the movie. The IMF is no more.
Because now,
Ethan,
yeah,
you're on your own.
yeah. So it's like I said, it's at the expense of the last movie, which I'm like I can be okay with, but the fact that it's a direct sequel, like with the same things, it's like nah,
Yeah,
you
if these
can't
were
do this to the characters, and that's
yeah,
not fair.
if we were dealing with like a 1 to 2 situation where it's like this is just a different mission, that's one thing, but no, these are supposed to be more connected now.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've heard allegedly. I don't know how true that is. Because like, man, it didn't fucking feel that way in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, there's just this weird, like, hilarious, like, supposed comedy. Like, sir, you said it best, where it's like this feels like everything that parodies Mission Impossible.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you have the original
it's
Mission
like
Impossible
Archer.
movies, and then you have Archer, which is a parody of that, and then this movie feels like it was actually inspired by Archer. So it's a
Mhm.
weird, degraded copy of a copy of a copy
Yeah.
of itself.
Of
Which,
itself, yeah, that's the thing. It's like literally Archer's making fun of fucking like James Bond and Mission Impossible, and here we have Mission Impossible making fun of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, where like the whole like they literally like one of the things that's parodied in Archer is when it would be a stunt that like something like Ethan would do where he'd fall off like 17 cliffs and then he'd be perfectly fine. Archer gets
Mm.
really fucked up and
Yeah,
goes, eat a dick, gravity.
yeah, it's weird, and like that happens multiple times in this movie where Tom Cruise is just, it is what it is. I'm fine.
Yeah,
I
it was
got
just
over
to
it.
justify certain stunts like like that's why the fight scene in the underground cave, not an underground cave, that underground like sewer system, whatever was going on with that,
What are you talking
Uh,
about? Are you talking about the
when
are
he
you talking about
is
the interrogation after he's captured?
yeah,
Yeah.
where
Oh,
everybody's
I
being
guess
stupid with their guns so that Tom Cruise can
can get
basically
away.
laterally using like his abs to like climb up the pole.
Yeah.
He's got that core strength.
Yeah. And like I guess technically you can do that if you're a guy who can just shrug off like fucking exploding into a plane. Yeah. Why not? Um I guess that is the one thing I'll give the movie like credit for. That bait and switch at the very beginning of the movie was pretty clever.
Oh yeah, that we
Where
are
it's
the
like
syndicate.
yeah, it's like yeah, and it's like oh shit, and like they just basically came out and said it, and they did it in a way that would like infer that they know what they're doing, whereas like with spy shit, which I guess this sucks though because this is gonna come into a later point that I have against the movie, but I thought this thing was pretty cool. Um, the all of that shit was like I said, it's really interesting, but it's immediately followed up with Ethan being captured and potentially being saved in I think is one of the dumbest ways possible.
Oh
Like
yeah, she just
she
starts
literally
attacking people
there are
and
okay just one no before even fucking that dude so she's so Ethan Hunt is for set the scene for people. Ethan Hunt is tied up in the middle of a room. He's got a single like interrogation lady like looks like she's about to start working him, and then a group of like mercenary guys walk in and they all form a circle around Ethan. So meaning that everything in this room is now under their observation, right? Like that's a
right.
fair assessment, right? That's a fair assessment of what's going on,
Yes, it
correct?
is.
So this bitch reaches over and grabs the keys to the cuffs in like the least subtle way possible.
Yeah,
Well,
and she keeps jangling them around too.
I don't want to be bad faith. She's kind of subtle about it, but
No, not until she just
but
fucking
not
shows the
subtle,
key.
not subtle enough that the guys who are supposed to be watching her shouldn't notice. That's my point. But nah, they're just like, well, all whatever. Uh,
Then Ethan, like taking the hint that it's time to do things, just
so
he kicks the guy and he
kicks the
hits
guy,
he
and
rolls and hits him.
he comically falls back and clunks his head on a fucking pipe. And then none of the guards do anything about it. They're just
And
like, "Buh."
and
Oh,
we are
what?
shown later that they have guns.
Yeah, and so Ethan tries to break out, and the lady who threw him the keys, who once again, there's a solid like 5 seconds where she throws him the keys, and the guards once again do literally nothing until she starts attacking them, and then yeah, like and comedy of errors like doesn't even cover it. It's like this is just you guys are actually brain dead.
And I mean, and I kind of liked how like her her method of takedowns was a lot of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So that made sense
So
for someone that was her size.
and
Uh,
she doesn't win easily, but like she still it still kind of pushes that girl power thing of like
it
man well it pushes the girl
I
power
mean, she's a
thing and it
femme fatale. Like she is straight up out of like an old school Bond novel, where
yeah
her name
but
is Faust, as in a Faustian bargain, a deal with the devil, which is
yeah
literally her entire fucking character.
literally her entire character
Incredibly on the nose. Everything she does is impossibly graceful and badass and cool and sexy. Like she's a
Mhm.
very entertaining character, but she doesn't feel like she fits in this fucking universe.
yeah,
yeah not at
because
all
like Mission Impossible, like I'm trying to think of like compared to something like Bond, like I don't know, they both kind of became the same movies around this point, which was kind of weird.
I don't know about
I do
that
not
but
acknowledge fucking Daniel Craig fucking Bond. I don't like him.
and I
Casino
also don't
I
Royale,
don't
I
like
will
him
like
either.
almost give a pass, but most of his movies are just shit.
yeah but the Casino Royale only has that one good scene of him in the fucking the whole like actual Casino Royale. The rest of the movie is
Also,
like
everything
shit.
with Mads Mikkelsen as a bad guy. That dude was born to play
This
villains.
this
He's
Oh,
so
he's
good.
so
and
good as a heck.
let's not forget that stairway fight that was really good, and then the moment in the shower, like where it's
That's
like, oh,
all. But I'm sorry. Is that all the Casino Royale bit? Is that what I said?
sorry, I
That's
thought you
the
were
only
talking about.
good.
Sorry, no, I
No, I'm
thought you were
talking
talking
about
about the
everything about the
actual.
casino.
I
Yeah,
thought you were talking
everything
about
with the
just the
casino.
gambling part.
Everything with the Casino Royale bit is really good.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sorry.
Everything not the Casino Royale bit is terrible in that fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
But just a marble. The man, like fuck, what was I even saying? Like there's so much
We were talking.
bullshit. There's so much
So
bullshit in that fucking action scene that actually fucking bothers the fuck out of me, and it's hard to like just sit on one thing. But the
again, the
idea
fact
is
that
that
they have
like
guns and they're not doing anything about it.
yeah, so Slur, I can agree with you that she is a femme fatale, but the movie doesn't really help her. The movie
Yeah,
just
no. If
makes
she was
everybody
in just a
fucking stupid.
movie as the main character, like an unrelated, not tied to the Mission Impossible franchise spy movie with its own internal logic, so it's not contradicting anything, and you just kind of set up and go, just let it be its own thing, probably would have been fine, honestly.
Maybe, but there's some dumb shit she does, so it's like,
Oh yeah, there's, and it's kind of the consistent dumb shit that's happening throughout the entire movie. It's all of those little annoying things that happen in fucking uh how do I even describe it? Basic common denominator entertainment action movies. All the things that only become problems if you think about it literally ever. Like getting into
literally ever.
melee range with a gun.
Mhm.
Her actually beating the shit out of people, and only halfway through the fist fight does a guy pull out a gun that he's actually had this whole
He's
fucking
actually
time.
had a gun. That he's also
That
been
kind of
just
shit.
he's just sitting there and like so, and they do acknowledge like, no, we killed those people. So it's like, oh, so yeah, you killed all those guys. So that means Homeboy was literally watching all of his buddies or his coworkers just die, and it's like, oh, all right,
Yeah, that's what happens when you're a super spy.
that's what happens when you're super spy, super duper spy. And it's like I don't like that. I don't like that. It bothers me. That's what I'm saying. The choreography is like okay, but like taking in the context of the movie,
Yeah,
it gets
it's
really stupid,
yeah.
and that's why I can't really
That's
enjoy
why
it.
fights alone do not sell a movie, unless
Mhm.
you're just absolutely making fun of it. Like that was
Mhm.
pretty much the only thing I was doing with 2, because it's just dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the classic movie that is just popcorn for the brain. You throw it on because you've had a long week and you don't actually want to think. You want to
Mhm.
do the opposite. You want some dumb shit.
Unfortunately, though, this like kind of, but the problem is like this franchise isn't that. That's why it's jarring.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, it
Mission
didn't start
Impossible.
off as that.
it didn't start off with that.
That's the weirdest thing about this franchise so far. 1 and 4 are pretty much some of the only like okay,
I
hold
didn't
on. 3 was kind of decent. But 1 and 4 to me at least are like the only like real good ones like of that we've seen so far. And
Mm-hmm.
it feels like they just kind of keep going in this weird pattern like where they're decent and then they kind of jump off a cliff with no
But
parachute.
the problem is with this movie though, it jumps off very early.
Yeah.
And it was really concerning. And hey, guess what? It was very indicative. The movie is really fucking bad. Like, it's
Yeah,
dumb.
I called
I'm
it in the beginning. Remember, like my breakdown of the first movie was I thought like in the beginning, excellent, pretty solid most of the way through, but it kind of devolved into bullshit at the very end.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
movie starts off bullshit and just continues to get worse.
Mhm.
I will say like the more I think about like how much of Super Spy Ethan Hunt is, it's like he borderline would have to be like Archer levels of autistic to be able to do his job. He supposedly memorized all the information from that red
Yeah.
box. And it's just like I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that
you
is.
can't like I
He could
understand.
be bluffing. To be fair, like let me try to be his best faith possible for the movie. He could be bullshitting.
That's always a possibility, but I more just think of like so I don't doubt that Ethan with a head start could evade the CIA for 6 months because like his whole it was said in the first movie, we trained these people to disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what Ethan did. Uh Especially cuz he had help from Simon Pegg who from Benji who just loves playing his Halo.
Yeah, good shot of Halo, which, like I said, it's a bit of nitpick, but like if you're playing on PC, then why the fuck do you have the copy of the Xbox One edition of Halo fucking
Uh
5? But
Halo 5
whatever.
never came out on PC.
but you could play. I'm pretty sure you can play it
You can
via the
play.
Game Pass thing. But like
No,
even
you can
then,
only
it's
play
like
Forge mode. It was never
that's
released for PC.
then that's lame. Yeah, whatever. Like just another fucking thing of Hollywood not actually giving a shit about video games. They just want to do the product placement. Like
Yep.
fucking watching it Stuart Little, the fucking kids playing FIFA, and like they're going really slow and doing shit, but they're mashing their buttons like if they're playing a fucking beat 'em up. It's like,
Or like,
yeah.
remember in Batwoman, like the out of nowhere Mortal Kombat reference.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
Let's see. In terms like, well, did you guys enjoy the opera scene?
Eh.
I feel like it was okay. Um, hmm.
It wasn't.
That also had the weird comedy of errors thing though.
Yeah, because every
Like,
time Benji would hit the
every
box, it
time
would
Benji
something
hit the
would.
box out of frustration, like it would fuck up the fight and the thing. And it's like I get it, like the movies also do that kind of weird thing where it's like, oh, there's like a problem, we got to deal with it. But it's like that never felt like a joke. Like it felt like they were actually like trying to figure shit out. Whereas here it felt like, oh, Benji's fucking up, haha, look, but it's also like ruining shit for
Yeah,
Ethan. And
because like,
there's a point even when Ethan is just like, it's just give me a minute.
yeah, it's because despite him being a fully trained agent and having the confidence, like that's again a whole thing from 4. He's back to being comic relief, like just comic relief only. I mean, and it's
It's not great.
uh, I kind of liked this situation of him being taken hostage, but and the I don't know from an objective standpoint how I feel about the conversation at the cafe of
Uh, which one?
the one specifically when Benji has the bomb uh
Oh, you're
tried
skipping a
to
lot of shit, dog. Like,
I'm
there's a
yes,
lot of stupid bullshit.
we very much are talking about this movie out of order. We talked
Yeah, I
about it
know,
with
but
the
I'm saying there's a lot of shit that goes like wrong even before that though. It's
mhm.
like you skipped a lot of dumb shit, like the whole the whole
Okay.
fucking like the whole chase scene beginning with that weird fucking like spinning of the tires and just hitting all of the other bikes and making them all fall down. It's like
Yeah, let's
no.
okay, to trail back even further, uh the oxygen heist moment. Uh so first off, uh Benji getting fucking defibrillated right to the spine, at the very least, should have really fucked him up.
Mhm.
If
Yeah,
not, borderline fucking killed him.
there's a weird thing where it's like, oh, she's like a triple double agent or whatever. So it's like I get it why she doesn't want to kill them, but like, it's weird. Like she doesn't want them to die, but like she puts them in situations that would like kill them.
Yeah, well, especially no, especially with Ethan when she just gets in the she walks onto the fucking road and knowing that he won't hit her.
Yeah, that could have
Well,
killed him.
she's doing the thing that gives him the best chance for survival, but like she's going to finish her mission.
hmm
His death
Mm,
would be regrettable, but it's a possibility she's willing to accept. But she's going to like at least give him a chance.
mm-hmm.
That's fair, and yeah, that
Like
is a
she
good
could
way to.
have just fucking put a bullet in his head when he was on the bike, but she let him live.
Yeah,
And she was like a little bit thankful that he survived, but like she's getting the fuck out of there.
yeah,
Mission is priority one. Him being alive is like a bonus.
yeah. I guess
There's
that's
a
fair. And yeah, that is probably logically the only way like that she could have like stopped him. Like that would have the best possible outcome.
yeah, and especially because we know of Ethan's personality, he would rather like if you're on his side or someone he's deemed important, he won't lay a finger on your head. Like it's that was like the whole Do Gray Scott thing. He would rather do some insane stunt rather than hurt a single hair on a security person's head. In this
hmm
case, she used that advantage to make sure he wouldn't hit her.
Yeah. Um. The the okay, I don't want to get to this because this is like my main point, but like fuck it, I'm just gonna say it because it's bothering me. The motivation of the villain is really terrible.
He wants
So he's the
money.
main bad guy. Like he
Yes.
is the super spy of the super
He is
spies,
the
right?
syndicate.
He is the syndicate. Yet he has this spy who has failed him multiple times because she's compromised. And yet he lets her walk away from pretty much every failure.
Not
It's
even walking away, he welcomes her back in and he reveals towards the end that he kind of fully fucking knows that she's loyal to British intelligence, that
yeah,
she's not actually working for him.
yeah. It's really annoying because it's like, man, like why are you keeping this stupid bitch around? She's literally betraying you. So, yeah, and all of this to finally get the final reveal of why they're doing this. And like you guys can like disagree with it and like try to bring up counterpoints, but like man, the idea of these guys just wanting money. Granted, it's a shitload of money, but that is their whole motivation basically as the syndicate. Yet they're already doing shit that is
Yeah, they would need the money for this.
insane to do on a fucking shoestring budget. Like, so remember the
Was
thing
their
I
end goal the money itself, though? Or was the
no, they
end goal to
wanted
get the money
they
so he could keep the syndicate running?
yeah, he wanted to keep the syndicate running, but like at this point, just like fucking do other shit. You know what I mean? Because like this is requiring way too much stuff, like an impossible thing to get to there. Like I feel like they could have knocked over 5 banks in the time that it would have taken to fucking do this shit. You
Or
know what I
just
mean?
get hired by some like
Yeah,
Dubai
or do mercenary
trillionaire.
work. Yeah, or
Yeah.
do mercenary work. Do anything. Like your literal spies literally hack a fucking bank and just download the money. This shit to do all this shit just so they can have money is like a weird core thing that they need to do when it's like you kind of already are doing shit that requires money though.
Oh my god, you just reminded me like at the end of the day it's another instance of spy wants money cuz that was
Mhm.
basically out like I love Alec Trevelyan from fucking GoldenEye, but at the end
Mhm.
of the day you find out that the big thing is that he's staging a heist and used the GoldenEye like EMP to cover his tracks and it's like the
Yeah.
I know
And
like
remember
there's some end results of like you'd crash like the world financial market, which would at the end of the day make all that money you stole fucking worthless.
yeah, that is like a weird thing too. But no, like they have like multiple fucking interrogation bases all over the place. Like they've got fucking guns and fucking resources to hire a bunch of mercenaries. Like they're showing themselves as like a comically already well-funded organization, but they want more money. That's my issue is like what the fuck are what the fuck are you on about?
Yeah, how are you out of how? It's
Like
not
how do
even that they're
you
out of money. It's not even that they're out of money. If they were just flat out broke, I'd be like, how?
Yeah. Well, like if they were flat out broke, and like here's the thing: the clever thing to do if this movie was actually good, what they would do is have them like do a bunch of stuff that's like low budget in a way. You know what I mean? Like not showing them with a fucking fleet of motorcycles and like able to fucking teleport to any country and have like safe houses in every country. You know what I mean? Like have them do shit that would like be a little bit cheaper, shit like that. Have it be that like they don't have like an endless supply of minions. It's only like 5 minions. You know what I mean?
Or
It's only 5 dudes who are like loyal to the
or
cause.
instead of putting them in like these fucking like henchman outfits, like you have them blending in with whatever environment they're in. Like I was about to say homeless people. Like I was more thinking of that bit from John Wick 2, where
Hmm.
the homeless man shoots them. No, because I think one of the henchmen is the same actor.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's that one big Arabic dude, and there's like all these other dudes. But like they're showing off that they have like these like we said, the cool thing about the like the clarinet gun and like the pipe gun or whatever. That shit was really interesting and really cool, but it's like, man, that's not cheap. Like you can't just set shit up like that,
or
like
at the very
on
least,
no
like
budget.
they they could just be so retro that like that's what makes them so hard to track. They could
Maybe.
be it's
Yeah.
old. That could have been what made the syndicate cool. Their old school spy work, and that's why like you need someone like Ethan who doesn't need all the technology. He just needs all his contacts and his
Mm.
training.
Yeah. So the just the core villain, like, which I feel like movies are I feel like stories in general, they're built on like how good the antagonist force is. And in this movie, the antagonistic force is really lame,
Or they just heavily rely on the actor.
which no, like even
Not
having a
in,
good actor is like
not in
no,
this case.
that's
Like that.
no,
I
no,
was.
no, no. But I'm saying having a good actor, I still like is not a substitute for having a good
Oh no,
villain.
it's. Oh no, I'm not saying it is. That's just most people. That's most studios' excuses. That's why I was about to say like Giancarlo Esposito is a uh, fantastic actor, but anytime he's like playing Moff Gideon, he's just doing Gus again, and we don't understand his motivations.
Well, yeah, he's doing like an unhinged Gus, because like from what I've seen, Gus is like very stoic and like cool, whereas Moff Gideon's kind of like this fucking weirdo who's just freaking out.
Yeah, it's weird. It's just, it relies entirely on the performance of the actor.
Mhm. Fuck.
Yeah, well, I don't. What would we
Yeah, so
give
that's my main point is like the villain like and like like you said the like at least
Philip Seymour
Juan Carlo
Hoffman?
no Juan Carlo Esposito, at least he's a great actor, so he can kind of carry the performance. Like this guy like felt like he was trying to be the most intimidating person, but like I described it as a man who looks like a weasel. And like
And I
Slur,
const
you said something beautiful
What?
about how you would describe the villain.
I I was ripping on this villain a lot through this movie, so I think you're
Okay.
gonna have to
the
fucking
thing
take
I
my
constantly
You said he looks like a dentist uh and an accountant had a baby.
Oh yeah, the baby was born already being
I'm
35 years old.
35 years old. That's pretty fucking
but
solid.
I just kept making fun of the fact that that man had no jaw. Whenever it showed him from the side, he just had this gigantic nose just sticking out and with just no jawline whatsoever.
Like I said, the voice was kind of doing it, but like man, it just I don't know. Like it made me laugh at the beginning though, because I was just like, okay, I don't know. Like I said, the villain was terrible, and like that's the thing is like I feel like he's easily the weakest villain out of all of them. He
I mean, he's
uh,
got some fucking competition on that
he's
front.
got some competition, but like man,
as a
come on.
like yeah, I was going to say like I don't know, fucking Doomsday Theory man from fucking 4. Like he was pretty weak. Dougray
Doomsday.
Scott it Dougray Scott
He
at
was pretty
least
weak
like
as a character, but at least he was competent as like an antagonist.
yeah,
Yeah,
because he
Whereas a
pretty
lot of the
much
shit this guy was pulling made zero fucking sense.
yeah,
exactly.
because Dougray Scott this whole plan was like oh yeah, whenever something would change, like when Chimera was inside Nia,
Yeah.
he was like all right, now we're gonna take the cure and you're gonna make a shit ton of money from selling Bellerophon, and I want to be the chairman to secure all of that money.
And well, here's the thing, like not even only motivation, but like well, it's not even like his like what he wants to do as a villain. The idea of like let me see how to phrase this. He's very clearly defined in what he does. Like he loves Nya, so like anything in regards to her, it's like a weak point. You know what I mean? It's a very
Right.
clear and defined thing. Like because they used to be lovers. That was all set up in that movie. Here, there's no fucking reason why not not Wesker wants to keep Faust alive. It's like you know what I mean. Like there's no good reasoning for it. It's just there as a thing. So like and Homeboy from 2 also was a very competent fighter. Like we could see him going toe to toe with Ethan, whereas this guy literally is just a fucking weasel accountant, dude.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine him having a fist fight with
Yeah,
Ethan. At least that
because that's the
being like
thing.
torn to shreds.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Is like the other villains. Not only are they competent, like the smarts wise, they're also competent physically, where they can actually match Ethan in a fight, or at least put themselves up in the position where they could be secure. Homeboy
Yeah.
cracked the second he was like, "Oh, bank account! I have to fucking risk my entire operation because I need that bank account." It's like, dude, go rob a bank. You'll be fine.
Or just talk
Granted,
to.
like I said, I don't want to undersell it. Fucking 2.4 billion pounds is a lot of fucking money, but I don't think it's worth risking your entire operation for, which is what this guy did because reasons.
Yeah, the excuse that was made, or that Ethan tried to get him all triggered by, was like, you blame everybody for how you view the world now, so you
Mm-hmm.
want to make them pay, that is kind of weak.
I mean, it's fine as like a thing, but it's
It's
like just
typical. It's typical like spy versus spy
yeah,
villain motivation, but that doesn't excuse it in its
yeah,
execution, because its execution was still rather weak.
very poor. Oh, it is poor. So
Um,
yeah, I didn't like the villain. I didn't like the action in the movie. The chick was hot. I feel like she's probably up there in hotness, but like once again, I don't really like her character because of like what Star said. If she was like the main character of a different movie, probably be pretty cool. But the fact that like she is like literally saved by her plot armor in almost every fucking scene she's in, it's really annoying.
would you watch like an Atomic Blonde like movie with her?
Sure, why not?
Oh yeah.
If it's
That's
good,
fair.
if it's good.
Yeah. I think
Problem
that's
problem is when I say good, I'm like I want like the raid levels of action now. Like I'm
The
not
thing is, like,
satisfied.
she clearly has the chops to like play
Oh
that
yeah,
role. She just needs the script that's gonna fucking carry it.
has she been in anything else?
yeah,
Why can
Dune.
you pull that up?
She's Jessica,
Who's Jessica, the mom?
Paul's
The mom.
mother.
Okay, I don't know names, dude, and I also didn't really like that
Well,
movie, so.
I was
It's
also going to
like-
say
I'll be
I think it's
honest.
just funny how like you have all these fucking names, and then the main character's named Paul, and
Paul
his
and
mother
his mother's
Jessica.
mom is Jessica.
She's a
Meanwhile,
Bennett.
Dune God Onagerd is like in the middle of this
I
fucking like.
mean, do remember that his actual name is like Paul Muad'Dib
Hold on,
Atreides.
hold
Oh
on.
shit!
I'm
Really?
talking. Well, while like so, Muad'Dib is the uh, Fremen
It's the
name.
name that the Kremen know him as, but
Oh wait,
yeah,
no.
it becomes
His
part of
Fremen
his
name is Usul.
Oh yeah, the fucking
All
Norse
right,
thing.
we're talking about
Muad'Dib
a
is what he becomes.
we're talking about a more competent film, and I feel like we should stop because we have to
It's.
talk
I
about
was
this
just.
fucking movie.
Yeah, I was just chuckling how like we got all these complicated names, but his first name's still just
Paul
Paul. It's
and
why
his
I
mom
make.
was Jessica.
It's why I make the joke when we see Christopher Walken. Paul, the spice must flow.
Wow, you're taking the wrong tone, Paul. This is Madoon,
You
Masand.
you can't do your jihad, Paul.
I don't. The problem is I don't remember any of those fucking lines in that movie. I'm sorry. I get it. It's like one of your favorite fucking stories. I fucking hate that movie. I don't know why. I tried so hard to like it, but man, oh man, I was not a fan.
I honestly think it's just because it was almost an entire film of just setup,
Yeah.
which is kind of what you need for a
Yeah,
story
it's like the
like Dune.
first third of the first book is that whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
it-
why,
and also-
which is
and it's
why,
also
like,
not-
if you asked me, like, what is the best way to adapt Dune, I would have fucking told you a TV series.
And also, like, I also started hating the movie even more because, like, towards the end, me and my buddy had to go catch because we did a double feature of that and the My Hero Academia movie that came out at the same time. And like towards the end, when they're just fucking around in the sand, me and him are looking at our watches, going, "Okay," and the fucking
It-
movie.
Uh-oh.
His rage broke everything. Oh, we just straight up lost internet.
Talk about
Alright.
fucking Dune. Talk about Mission Possible. Yeah, it was probably the weakest one out of all of them.
Your rage caused my internet to just stop for a good minute.
Hell yeah. So did you catch what I said?
To just get us back on track, yes.
It's easily probably
it's-
the worst one out of all of them.
Uh,
I'd say easily.
do you think this is worse than 2?
Yes, because two had
It's
at least
more
a comp-
dysfunctional than 2.
Yeah, because 2 had a competent villain. It had good action sets. It had like it, even though it was a rush romance, it had an understandable romance.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, 2 is as cheesy as it is because of the style in which it's made.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a John Woo movie.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like as is it is a weird observation I made. It's like, man, these do feel like very different movies. However, 2 is something I could watch again. This one is just fucking no.
Yeah, that's a fair observation. What would you give it number wise?
It's
Three.
I hate giving these numbers because I always forget what the fuck I rated the other ones. But
No,
what'd you
don't
say?
worry about what
What
you
did you
give the
say, Slayer?
others.
3?
I said 3. Like, not only is it below average, but it is just logically undercut by itself so often.
I
Entertainment wise, like, yeah, there's like some yucks to be had. Watch it with the boys and a few drinks, but like,
Yeah, but then that's like
quality wise,
No,
it's
I
not.
say that is
even
not
then,
the quality of the
if
movie.
I was gonna have a beer and watch a fucking shitty movie with you guys, I'd just throw 2 back on.
Yeah, I was about to say like that's the thing is like 2 has the caveat of being like at least like fun. This movie is just like okay,
Because
yeah, the
because
set
we
pieces are
can
cool, but that's it.
because we could just make fun of like they're both on a motorcycle, they jump up into the air, they
And then
collide midair, fall off a cliff, land on the ground, and then
yeah,
proceed to
Slur,
fight each other.
Slur. I think we need to go back and watch that action set so you just understand how dumb that shit gets. But like as stupid as that shit gets, I'd rather watch that.
Yeah, because it's just mindless fucking
Mhm.
violence and
And hey,
fun.
the music's great in that movie.
Oh, you mean the as
Yeah, no,
Nia's contemplating suicide?
basically. So yeah, so you give it a 3. I think I hate to say this, but I think I go 2.5 to go even lower.
I don't see. I would. I think the closer we get, the lower we get, the like less functional as a film it becomes.
Yeah.
Like there was at least. I was going to say there
The
was
fact
going
that
to
you're
be.
struggling and you know these movies so well is like it should be indicative of like
I'm more
countering
just
your argument.
I'm more just wondering. I'm thinking of like basic story structure. Does it have like how well does it do its setup and payoff? The setup they got the drive and she stole it. The payoff is actually that Benji made the copy, which we agreed like no he didn't have the fucking time or the equipment.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's already
Uh,
like
right,
non-functional.
right. That's why I'm quickly running through
And
stuff.
then like her shit was just magically deleted.
Uh, so I could imagine with
And
like
then the
because
fucking
date
and then the
because
lock picking fucking devices.
oh
Like
no
there's a lot of
that was
stupid shit in
stupid.
this movie.
The
There's a
wiping the
lot of stupid
data
shit.
I'm actually a little bit more forgiving just because in terms of like how data is transferred nowadays I could
Mhm.
imagine that like you can do like Wi-Fi and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff over like
but
Bluetooth and
she was able to put it directly on his phone, which was covered by a newspaper, and that's how it was deleted.
mhm.
Like I said, there's like if you start looking at it, like, that's the thing. You start looking at it, like it makes less and less sense.
Yeah,
So,
you can buy it for a minute and then like you start to think about it. That's when it gets back to falling apart.
and unfortunately,
Um,
my autistic ass is not my tolerance for that shit this weekend is not high. So that's
no,
why I'm like, nope,
that's
bullshit.
that's fair. I'm just what's the I guess comparative wise, what's another like 2.5 movie? Because I feel like I don't want to say
Hmm.
that's too harsh. I'm trying to see where the bar is so that I can see if I agree or disagree with it.
I'm not in the mental state to actually
Yeah, okay.
properly
If you
say
just
that.
think of like 4 is below average, like it has some serious
Right.
problems, and this is a step down from that again.
Like a
Well, right.
2.5, like
That's
remember, a 2.5 is a movie I don't want to watch again, so I'd already like fail at the point of reference.
right. I'm more just yeah. It's the
Or just
reason
can if you don't need to worry about his point of reference, use your own to kind of like figure out what your number's at.
because I would say at about a 3.5, but
Okay,
I'm being the least harsh here.
that's fair. Now, once again, you can be least harsh about it, and like this, I think we've properly said that like our number system is like a is a combination of both subjective and objective
Yeah.
reasoning. So if you
I'm
say 3.5, that's like I said, it's not gonna hold it against you. You would have said like a 7 or an 8. I would be
no
like,
no no
okay,
no no
hold
no
the
no
fuck
no no
up.
no. This ain't going past a 5. I was
Okay,
willing
yeah.
for like a second to give it a 4, but then it's like that doesn't work. So
Mhm.
I was willing to give it a 3. I was trying to make like it going below the 3 was where I was trying to be like, does it really pass that threshold? And I could see it being there at least.
That's fair.
Yeah, anyone got anything
No,
Mission
I think
Impossible
that about
franchise
covers
looking
it.
fucking weird now.
It's looking mad strange, not gonna lie.
I will
My
say the
fun,
average score across all of them is not looking great.
yeah, like it is bizarre how I feel like we're going down in quality.
and
When I was specifically told that it was gonna get better.
yeah,
Apparently Fallout's amazing. That's what I've heard. And
I'm
that's the
well,
next one, right?
yes, that's the next one, and I'm
I've
gonna be too distracted by just staring at Henry Cavill and his massive arms.
I mean, that'll be a plus. Like I said, I gave this movie a 2.5 just because Faustian girl looked great in that fucking yellow dress, not gonna lie.
There could be
So
an active problem going on. You guys are explaining at it. I'm just like, I'm sorry. What did you say? Henry Cavill's on screen.
so I do it's gonna be weird to like kind of talk about it, but like I do have to ask, is that fucking arm cocking thing real?
Yes.
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 What the fuck? Okay, we'll see. I'll make a note of it now before we even watch the movie. But what the fuck?
Yes.
He
What
reloaded
is
his
that?
arms because his
No.
arms are
No,
considered
I
lethal
am
No.
weapons.
Entirely confident that it will make sense in context. Okay.
It
They're in
probably
the
will.
okay. So now what
probably will.
happens is they're in the middle
No,
of a
shut
fist
up! Don't
No,
don't
shut up. We're
spoil
gonna
it.
see
You
it in
just-
the movie. It
You
Yeah,
shows.
just
don't
asked.
spoil
You
the
just
movie.
asked me about it.
No,
Though.
I just
We're
asked you if
talking
it
about
was
in
real.
anticipation. We don't actually
Oh,
want you to
okay.
explain the movie that we're going to watch.
Yeah, I
that's
just
fair.
asked you if it was real or not, and you
No,
said
it's-
yes. So that's why I'm like, that's weird. I feel like that's a fair assessment of that, because yeah, that's weird.
I think it'll make a lot more sense in context.
I'm
I
pressing
was
X to
being
doubt, my
sarcastic.
man.
It's going to be stupid, but yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. But all right, guys. See you
I'm
next
sorry.
time.
Do you have Henry Cavill's muscly, covered in chest hair chest?
No, I don't need to fucking not realize that your fucking arms shouldn't go chick chick when you fucking shake them. That's fucking stupid,
Oh
Wyatt.
no! Oh no!
That's
They don't.
fucking-
Oh, are you asking me if they make the sound effect? No, they don't.
Nobody's
They-
asking you anything. Stop trying to explain the movie we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know what I'm being asked.
Don't worry
You're
about
not
it.
being
We'll
asked anything. We're just saying
we'll-
shit.
yeah, we're
End the
we'll,
episode.
we're yeah. Jog on.
All right.
Well,
Well, I'll see you next week.